There's a claim today that the government's backing the wrong horse in planning to build a high-speed rail link from Birmingham to London. A think tank says demand is likely to have been overestimated and evidence it'll promote economic growth is limited. The new Economics Foundation report also claims it'll be environmentally damaging.
Well, we're joined now from London by David Theiss from the Foundation, and here in the studio by Jerry Blackett of Birmingham Chamber of Commerce. Good evening to you both, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening. If I can speak to you first of all, Mr Theiss, in London. I mean, why do you make these claims?
Well, we've spent a number of years surveying the evidence surrounding the HS2 scheme presented by the government, and we found it wanting, to be blunt. And so, from our perspective, these claims are not that outlandish. They are evidenced by the facts.
But there is a demand for long-distance journeys, and demand has, in fact, doubled, I think, in the last 15 years. It's going to keep going on up.
Well, that is certainly one perspective. The government's own watchdog, the National Audit Office, just published a report on the case for HS2 and found the demand case for HS2 to be wanting in some detail. And so we do not accept the claim that just because demand has increased in the past, that it will certainly increase in the future.
Jerry Blackett, I'm sure you want to jump in there.
Well, yeah, it is useful to look at the facts. This is about capacity. Passenger growth has been doubled in the last 10 years, not the last 15 years. Looking forward, the projections in growth are less than that. They're quite conservative.
Yeah, in fact, usage has gone down this year in the first 3 months.
Indeed, but all the forecasts that we've seen, and this is our region, we care about it, show that the line is going to be full by the mid-2020s. So we have to build something else. And nothing in the report that I've seen today from the Forum has presented anything new or given us any encouragement to think, oh, we've got alternatives. There are no options to what we need to do here.
You think there are alternatives, don't you, Mr Theiss?
Oh, absolutely. I think focusing on one of the strategic objectives, which is very important, like capacity, is not seeing the wood for the trees in a certain respect. This is a £33 billion investment, the largest single investment in UK transport history. And there's a lot of things at play associated with the economy, associated with sustainability, that also must be considered to the appropriate levels alongside the capacity issue. And our report attempts to include a broader picture of what alternatives could be possible with that spend.
I have to say, Mr Blackett, that the tide seems to be going very much against HS2. We had a report only from the National Audit Office only last week, and now this today.
Well, I think we're going to get a lot of this, Nick. There are a lot of questions are being asked from regularly around this, but we're very confident that we know that this is good for our economy. 22,000 jobs, 1.6 billion addition to the economy. It's going to help our airport
sort of figures
compete.
are being questioned.
Well, there are figures. We've engaged KPMG, well-known firm, to come up with local figures that we understand and we believe. So we're in no doubt, and our businesses are in no doubt. 88% of them are saying this will create more opportunity. Freight, we've got more freight going through our region. As I say, the airport, we've just last week said we can see our airport becoming a global asset.
Well, briefly, do you think this will happen? Do you think actually will happen?
Hugely confident it will happen. There's hundreds of millions of pounds already been spent, well spent, planning this future. We should applaud it for our region. We should be very careful about southeast-based biases telling us what's best for our region. We know what's best for our region. Mr Theiss, are you
southeast biased?
Oh, absolutely not. We are UK PLC biased.
Yeah, and just to be fair, the government is spending a lot of money on other projects, both on road and rail at the moment. Billions.
Absolutely. But this is a landmark strategic transport expenditure for the entire country. And I would just like to say that our report includes some evidence to suggest that we should be investing more than the proportion of HS2 that will be going to Birmingham, into Birmingham. And so, we absolutely echo the sentiment that more needs to be invested locally and that local governance should be in control of that. Excuse me.
Okay, Mr Theiss, must leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and Jerry Blackett, thank you.